welcome to Luxe DIY. My name is Christina. We are a brand new YouTube channel, so please subscribe and hit that like button down below so that we can grow on YouTube. Today we're going to be making this Chanel inspired necklace with 3 different size CCs. There's a large, a medium, and a small one. So let's get started.
For the materials, I have here some white Sculptey clay, an Exacto knife, metal circular cutters, some jewelry tools, end pins, E6000 glue, some wax paper which I used for the clay, some faux pearls and chain, and some flat acrylic pearls. I'm going to start by working with my clay a little bit and softening it out, and then I'm going to separate it into 2 flat pieces. So now that I have 2 flat circular pieces, I'm actually going to flatten it out once more and then cut it out again, just because this makes it thinner and it makes it all around more even, and I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Also, you don't have to worry about the side piece of the metal cutter that has a little dent in there, because you do have to have one open spot on your CC. So now I'm going to take the smaller of the circular cutters, and I'm going to try to line up where the metal part is on probably about the same area where the last one is, and I'm going to put it directly in the middle so I can make our base for the CC. And now I'm just cutting a little bit out of the C. I'm going to actually go back and do more later, so this part doesn't have to be as perfect as you need it to be. Go ahead and put these in the freezer for about 15 minutes, and when you take it out, you'll notice that it's a lot easier to work with. It won't dent and you won't get fingerprints in it as easily. And now we're just going to put it together to form our Chanel logo. Now that I have them placed where I want them to be, I'm going to go ahead and cut the excess part off of the C's. Using my fingers, I am going to press it down just a little bit so that the clay sticks and bakes together in the oven. So these are the end pieces that we're going to be sticking into both sides of our Chanel logo, and I'm going to show you how to make these. So you're going to take the end pins and you're going to use your pliers tool and make an L shape. And then you're going to go ahead and use the round nose pliers, and just in the opposite direction you're just going to go ahead and make your loop. And then you can go back and use the pliers again and just go ahead and straighten it out a little bit, and also cut off any excess material, and then just stick it right into the clay. So I'm going to set the oven to 260 and bake it for 20 to 25 minutes, and when you do a lower temperature for a little bit longer, it does actually bake it to be a little bit harder. Now, using a small file, I'm just going to go ahead and smooth out any edges. It did come out pretty good, but I'm just touching it up a little bit just to make it more perfect. Now I'm going to apply several coats of spray paint using a high gloss white, and after that dries, we can go ahead and start embellishing the Chanel CCs. So now I'm using an E6000 glue with a thin nozzle that's meant for small beads and jewelry, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply my glue. If you notice, I'm also using a little thumbtack with a little glass bead on top just to stop my glue from flowing out. So I am using all one size of the pearls for this bigger Chanel logo. For the smaller CCs, I did use some smaller sizes. It really just depends on your own personal preference. So this is the chain that we're going to be using, and you will need a heavier duty jewelry pliers to cut this, but I'm going to go ahead and cut pieces of 3, which I'm going to use in between the pearl beads, and then I'm actually going to have pieces of 5, which are going to be around the Chanel logo. So I'm going to show you how we're making these pearl beads, so go ahead and open them up and open up your end pins as well. So now we're going to take one of our end pins and we're going to cut the end off. You can actually buy these where one side is already done, but we didn't do so here. Go ahead and take your pliers and make an L shape. Then once you're done doing that, you're going to take your round nose pliers and go the opposite way until you have a nice circle loop shape. You can cut off any excess that you may have and just go ahead and straighten it out. Now I'm going to go ahead and place the big pearl bead on the end pin, and I'm just going to go ahead and use my finger to bend the pin and repeat the same process. This is how your beads should look after you finish putting them together. Now we're going to start assembling our necklace, and you guys can either follow our exact same layout or you can do it your own way, but we're going to be using 2 thin and bent needle nose pliers to open up some jump rings and attach our pieces to the chain. In between the Chanel logos, I'm using a chain piece of 5, and in between the smaller beads, I'm using a chain piece of just 3. When I'm connecting the pearl beads together, I'm actually not using jump rings. I'm just opening up the loops that they already have, just because I find it a little bit unnecessary, and I think that the bead and the chain pieces are prettier than jump rings. Here we have our finished product, and if you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. Also leave a comment down below for any tips or tricks or future video ideas.